should take a walk someday, dream about what we could have been. But I don't wanna leave this place, no faith in Brooklyn. If I move out one day.
Hey, what's up guys, it is Sykoo or Sam here and welcome back to the channel guys, and today I'm super excited to bring you guys a brand new episode of C# Basics in Unity. And today we're going to specifically look at flashlight system in Unity. A little bit earlier I actually made a video about this, but I deleted them because I didn't really think that the quality was good enough for the channel. Because you know our quality is so high now, especially with the Discord server. On top of that guys, we are running a game jam and some giveaways on the Discord server right now, so if you haven't joined up yet, make sure to join it. It's our community's number, or like first priority of like the type of communication platform that we're using pretty much. I didn't really know what to describe it as, but we basically use it for daily communication, so make sure to join it for more tutorials, etc. So yeah, and with that being said, let's get right into this video. So I created a folder for flashlight, which is going to be where we locate all our files for the flashlight itself, so all these scripts, etc. But to get started with, we're going to create a new scene. And let's see here, we can actually start off by adding a plane into our scene, scale it up a little bit. Wow, that was actually quite a bit, but I'm okay with that. We can actually rename the plane to ground so that we actually know what this is going to be. And then we can remove the main camera and search for first person controller or just first person. Go to prefabs. If you don't have this folder, just right click, pick import package and then characters. You'll be able to import the rigid body FPS controller, but if you don't want to use this and if you have your own player script, feel free to use it because it's just as fine. I'm just using this for demonstration purposes, so it's fine. If you want to use your own ones, it's okay. So yeah, now we have our little player inside of our scene, so I'm just gonna drag it down a little bit, or like back, and we can rename it to player. There we go, and I can also tag it as player. There it is. All right, so we can drag it up a little bit so that we have it organized right there. And now we are actually going to open up our flashlights folder, create a new C# script, and call this flashlight. And we can actually add it to our player now. Oh, whoops, there we go. And now that we have that added, we can actually create a 3D object, a cube. You can actually add this, you don't have to make this a cube, but I'm just making it a cube because I'm really bad at designing a flashlight. I'm not a 3D modeler, so I'm gonna blame it on that, but yeah, if you have your own 3D model for a flashlight, feel free to use it. Like I said, it's not a problem. There we go, so we just have it a little bit rotated like that. Cool. There we go. Alright, so I think that's fine for a flashlight. We can also call this flashlight. And let's see, we can actually drag it into our player and drag it into our main camera as well, so that it follows the main camera itself. Now we can open up the script, and meanwhile Visual Studio is opening, I'm actually gonna go back to Unity. Oh, this is a little bit laggy. Well, now it's open, but I'm still gonna go back to Unity and just simply let me do it like this. There we go. So we're going to add a let's see, was it spotlight or was it, yeah, it's spotlight. So you want to add a spotlight, and you can actually do like this. You can make it a child of your flashlight, make it 0, 0, 0 in position, and then 0, 0, 0 in rotation, and then just literally rotate it so that it points forward with these yellow lines. There we go. And we can actually do like this, I think. If we just, I just want to see the effect of the light, so we can do like this. Let's see here if this is gonna work. Yeah, it's working. So you can now see a little bit easier. Now that we have a dark scene, you can actually see how good the range of the flashlight is, etc. And also the rotation especially. So we're gonna move it a little bit forward so that it's actually in front of the flashlight. And we can rotate it, oh, we can rotate it like that. There we go. So that makes it look a little bit more realistic. Now we obviously want to increase the spot angle and also the range a little bit, because we obviously don't want it to be this dark, right? So we can actually do like this. Maybe have like 35 as a range. I think actually intensity as 1 is pretty good, and then we can also have soft shadows added. There we go. Now we're gonna change the directional light as normal. Wow, that's actually really bright. All right, that's actually pretty good. You can see. Oh wow. All right. Maybe like that. Yeah. Wow, that's actually a pretty good view. I'm gonna use it for my level designs in the future. All right, so we can actually now make it a child object of our spotlight. Or, oh no, sorry, not the directional light. We want to make the spotlight a child object of our flashlight, if it's not already. But we did it in the beginning, so it's not a problem. We can also call it, well, I can keep the name as flashlight, or like the spotlight, but we can just call it light for flashlight. Very unnecessary, but still. Now we're getting into the fun part. So now we're gonna actually open up our Visual Studio. You can also use MonoDevelop if you're using that as your IDE or your compiler, so it's fine. Now we're gonna create a few variables here, and we're gonna start off by public game object flashlight and public game object light objects or light obj, and we can also say public float max energy, and then private float current energy. And the energy is pretty much going to be how much energy is left in the flashlight, and we're going to increase the current energy by picking up some batteries, and which we're going to create a system for in just a bit. So now we're going to say public void start, there we go, and then public void update. For the beginning, we're going to, this is a good beginning so far. We're obviously going to develop it further, so we might have to create some voids later on, but we'll see how it goes. So now we are going to enable the equipping and unequipping of the flashlight itself. So we're going to say equip if input.getKey down keycode.f. Maybe we can remove this and we can just say flashlight. We can actually say we can create a new variable and say private bool flashlight enabled. And now we can say flashlight enabled. I can zoom in a little bit like that. Perhaps that's a little bit too much, but let me know in the comments if you think this is too much. And then we can say what do you call it? That mark, that highlight, and then we can just say flashlight enabled. And why we're using this? Oh, let's see. Oh wait, it's really that? Okay, I think they changed it because, oh well, whatever. So what we're basically doing here, Sky please, what we're basically doing here is we're saying if we're gonna get an input from the player, which is if the player presses F on his keyboard, we're going to have flashlight enabled to true, and when we click once again it's going to be false, and then when we click it once again it's going to be true again, and so on. It's going to be an infinite loop depending on how many times you actually press F. And this is a switch method created by this little statement here. So as soon as you're using a equal mark and then a I'm actually gonna search what it's called. Oh yeah, it's exclamation mark. I'm sorry, I actually removed it by accident. There we go. So we're basically saying flashlight enabled is going to be true as soon as we click F or press F by the player's part, and then we're going to set it to false as soon as we actually press it once more. And this little statement here, or these two little symbols here, the equal mark and then the exclamation mark, they mean that it's going to switch between two values. And since we're using a boolean, we can just simply say flashlight enabled equal to not equal to by using the exclamation point, flashlight enabled equal to false, instead of actually writing equal to equal false equal true. So it makes it a little bit more efficient for our part. And now that's going to work. So what we're going to do here is let's see here, we can actually say if flashlight enabled, then we're going to set let's see, flashlight equal to set active true. There we go. And else flashlight dot set active false. So basically we're saying if flashlight enabled boolean is true, it means that our flashlight is enabled, which means we're going to equip it. And this is going to allow us to actually do that. So it's going to enable the game object itself. Set active is pretty much a function you're using, and inside of the parentheses you're putting a parameter which is going to be a boolean, which is simply true or false. And true means that you're setting it active, false means that it's not active. That's pretty much it. So you can actually go back to Unity, play the game real quick, or actually hold on a bit, we're quick here. We're going to first and foremost go to player, and for our flashlight we're going to drag and drop the flashlight itself, and the light for flashlight is going to be inside of our light object. So now we can play the game, and you can see that it's going to be disabled by beginning, because we obviously want the variable to be disabled by the beginning as well, so it's false. We press F and we enable the flashlight itself, and then we press F once again and it's disabled. So the point here is that we're going to be making a little bit more advanced than that. We can actually do so that we enable and disable the light object itself as well. And we can simply do that by having another key that we can press, but I believe that if we had that, it's going to be very unnecessary for the player to actually enable the flashlight first and then enable the light itself as well. I'm just telling you that by using this simple if statement methodology that we just created, you can literally do what we just described. And you just say if flashlight enabled, then or well, you have your own boolean like flashlight, like the light itself enabled, and if it's enabled you can just set it active to the light because we obviously created a game object for it. So you can use the same functions like these just for the light itself as well. And now we're actually going to decrease the energy itself, and we're going to do that by simply saying we can actually use a let's see here. Actually, we can use for the moment being a normal public void update, and then we can optimize it later on. So we're going to say if flashlight enabled, then we're going to have these, and we can actually remove this line like that because we don't want to use the same if method one more time. So instead we just say flashlight dot set active true in here instead, and then we just say else there we go. Oh whoops, I don't want to use it like that. There we go. And then we move this as well. Cool. And then we say flashlight dot set active false. There we go. So now the point is, instead of our flashlight enabled, we're going to say energy or current energy minus equal. We can say that we are going to take like 0.0 or 0.5 times time dot delta time. And let's see here. We can also make this public void update to a fixed update instead, so that it's not depending on the frames per second by the game. So the time itself is not going to be decreased if our player is not having the best frames per second right now. So it's still not going to be like a cheat for the game itself. And let's see here. All right. And this is going to decrease the current energy. And we obviously want to go to our public void start and say current energy is equal to max energy. And why we're doing this is basically because we want the current energy to not be 0 at the start of the game. We obviously wanted to read off the value from the max energy that we have right now. And we are actually going to say max energy is equal to, let's see, we could say like 50, we could say 50 times batteries, or batteries. There we go. And batteries is going to be a new private float batteries. There we go. So basically the batteries variable, or not float, I'm sorry, integer. There we go. So the integer batteries, we're going to use it to count the amount of batteries that the player has right now. And the more batteries you pick up, the higher this value will become, which means that max energy at the start of the game will be 50 times batteries. And this simple math equation simply means that each battery is going to contain 50 units of energy, I guess you could call. And so when we enable the flashlight, it's going to decrease the current energy from 50 if we have one battery at start to actually, you know, whatever is in here. And we also want to set the max energy to whatever amount of batteries we have inside of our public void fixed update as well, so that as soon as the player picks up a battery, we're going to be able to give it the energy that it requires. So we can simply say this here, like just state it really simply. And let's see here. It's also very important not to use this statement inside of our if statement, either here or here, because we don't want it to be called upon, you know, input key down, and we don't want it to be called upon whenever we have the flashlight enabled. We want it to be called upon anytime you actually pick up a battery. On top of that, we're going to create a function that is going to allow us to pick up the battery itself. So we're going to say public void on trigger enter collider other. There we go. Oops, that's not meant. There we go. All right, so now we can say if other.tag is equal to battery, then let's see, we can create a private game object other or battery picked up, and we're going to say curly brackets first and foremost, and then we're going to say other or picked up battery is equal to other.gameObject. There we go. So we're setting the variable that we just created for whatever is in here. Let's see, the name picked up, oh, battery picked up, sorry. So we just changed the name here. My Skype is going crazy now, I don't know why. Who uses Skype anyway? Discord is the best one. And then let's see here, we could actually say batteries plus equal 1, and we just simply say battery picked up, or sorry, destroy battery picked up. So basically we're saying if we are colliding with a game object that's tagged for battery, we're going to increase, or we're going to set the game object called battery picked up to whatever is the other game object we're you know, triggering with or colliding with, which is going to be the battery in this case. And as soon as it's done with that, we're going to set batteries to whatever it is by +1. So we're just going to be +1 battery. And then we're going to destroy the battery that is picked up, the game object we're colliding with, so that we don't actually continuously increase the battery's amount, because we obviously don't want it to bug out. So now we can actually go here to Unity. We can create a new 3D cube. I'm really talented when it comes to actually modeling, so you know, wow, that's a big battery, but I guess I know that some people are going to be like, that's what she said, but you know, if you say that, I don't think you're welcome at this channel. No, I'm just kidding, actually. I need every view, so please stay. So we can increase the size to 1.5, 1.5, and 1.5, so that we have it a little bit bigger than the box collider itself, which is the regular one. So we can actually add a rigid body too, so that we can actually collide with it. And don't forget to check the is trigger checkbox here, not for the other one that's actually added by default, but the one that is added by you, so the one you increase the size for. And this is actually going to just simply say that we are able to walk through this game object, which will simply mean that we can collide with it, which means that this is going to be run. So let's see here. Oh, I meant this is going to be played. So let's see here, did I forget about anything? I don't really believe so. We could also create the method for simply checking if the flashlight is actually, yeah, we could definitely do that. So we could say we're gonna create a new, oh wait, hold on, we can actually do it here. So if we put this down a little bit, we can do like this. If flashlights, or wait, current energy is lower or equal to 0, then we're going to say flashlight, or light for flashlight? Light object, yeah. Light obj dot set active false. So this is where which is what I was pretty much describing a little bit earlier. And we can also say, let's see, if current energy is higher than 0, light object dot set active true. So basically, we are going to allow the player to enable the flashlight itself, or like equip the flashlight anytime by using this. So we're setting it active anytime. And we're also setting a rule and saying current energy is going to be decreased by every second. And if current energy is lower than or equal to 0, basically there is no energy at all for the battery or for the flashlight itself, then we're going to say light object set active false. And let's see here. Actually, what we could do here, max energy is equal to 50 times batteries. So yeah, this is actually going to result in the battery not ending at all, I guess. But we could try. I think there's a little error with my mathematic, but we can try. And so if we enable the flashlight right now, it's going to be at 0. Oh, and we sorry, we didn't tag this as we can call this cube for battery, and then we can tag it as battery as well. There we go. Battery. There we go. And now we go back to battery, and then we actually add the tag itself. There we go. Now we can play the game, I was gonna say, but we can actually go to player. We can add a box collider, just like we did for the cube, or the battery cube. And then we can edit collider, is trigger, perhaps like reach the ground so that we can actually enter all the objects. I guess this is good. I'm not sure about the collision right now. Yeah, it's good. Wow, the player is really high up, okay. Cool, so now we can pick up the battery here. You can see that it's get destroyed, and let's see, it's not enabled though. Oh, and I actually know why we're doing this. So first and foremost, we're gonna go back to the script, and we are going to cut this part, the current energy decreasing part, and we can actually create, let's see here, curly bracket and curly bracket. There we go. And yeah, here, cool. I was like, is this the wrong one? No, but it's cool. So if current energy is greater than 0, then we're going to decrease this. And we also want to say, we can actually do with this a little bit above this. So underneath max energy, we can say current energy is equal to max energy. There we go. And we also want to go back here one more time and see here. We can create, oops, oh god, there we go. Oh my gosh, I hate this thing that Visual Studio does by Power Auto. We can also say if current energy is lower than or equal to 0, batteries is equal to 0. Obviously we have no batteries if we actually just have none. We also want to say, yeah, we could do like this. Private float used energy. And flashlight enabled. We can say, there we go. Energy used, or use energy, yeah, we can, yeah, whatever. Use energy is equal to current, or plus equal 1, or wait, it's actually 1.5 f times time dot delta time. And if we have if use energy is equal to, or equal to 50, or perhaps like greater than or equal to 50, then we are going to say, oops, then we're going to say that, and we will say batteries. Oh my goodness, guy, please. I forgot to actually have it on disturb. Do not disturb. We're going to say use energy, or hold on, we can actually just say battery minus equal 1, use energy equal to 0. This is the easiest way of actually handling the batteries, the amount of batteries, otherwise it's going to bug out. So save your script and return to Unity, and we will play the game and see if it works now, because we should be able to pick up the battery and then we should be able to enable the light itself. Yeah, it's doing that, so that's pretty good. Now for actually the like the what do you call the troubleshooting part of this will be to either make these public so that we can see all the values, or we could say print batteries, and then plus batteries. This is very poor design, but yeah, it works. And then we can also say print battery, or used energy, and then plus used energy. Cool. So we could also yeah, well, it's going to be the same for your current energy, so it's not a problem. We're gonna be able to understand it through itself. So there we go. So now we can actually walk onto the battery. Boom. So let's see here. It seems to... Oh yeah. I was like, it's static, but it's not static. It's just simply, it wasn't counted because we didn't have the battery or the flashlight enabled. So as you can see, it's, you know, increasing by the time. And we could also say, let's see, we can increase the used energy to like 10, so that we can just troubleshoot and see if batteries are being decreased by every second, or not every second, but every time we're actually using them. Yep, they're doing that. Yeah, cool. So it's working now. Batteries are going to decrease by the amount of current energy you actually have left. So it's going to count itself. You don't have to do this manually. And that's pretty much it. I think we're done for this episode. I don't really know if we can add anything more, but if you have anything in your mind, let me know in the comments down below, and I will do it by editing the code a little bit and giving you either the source code or just simply writing the code out in the video comment section. And also join the Discord server for making sure to join the game jam. I'm also going to link the game jam especially, and also the giveaway. We're going to run it. We don't have it active right now, but we're going to give away some Polygon assets and a few other asset types. And I also plan on giving some gift cards for Unreal Engine and Unity asset stores. So make sure to follow us on Discord. They're all going to be posted there. I'm also going to post videos of them, so make sure to subscribe for more videos like this. And with that being said, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, guys. And once again, leave a comment if you have any questions, or if you just want to say hi, you're always welcome. Join Discord, and with that being said, I will catch you in the comments or the Discord server. Bye, guys.
We should take a walk someday.